welcome back to another wonderful game of the Concord and Illuminati here on All on the Table on the Transverse. Here we are. So our heroes look out over the town, yet name unknown, and they look down onto wheels and listen down on wheels rumbling and clanging as tremendous amounts of gold, gems, magical items, and books are loaded onto a massive ship sitting in the harbor of this now desiccated town. The embers of the conflagration are all but extinguished. The giant can congregate around the ships. A few runtish giants keep watch by the gates, and small groups of hounds and hyenas roam the streets, picking clean what is left of the creatures that once inhabited this place. A small prison camp sits just behind one of these poorly defended gates. Looking down on this, peering curiously, meekly through the bushes, is a bright-eyed face. Dirty blonde hair parted down the middle crest the bush, and a pair of playful brown eyes break the surface. Hand shaking on the trigger of a small crossbow, he brushes the grit from his trek on the beach with his he brushes the grit from his trek on the beach from his face with the other hand. And we look down, and you see in front of you this burned out city, a small impromptu prison camp set up. You're kind of like late morning at this point, and you're up on a hill. As far as you can tell, you're kind of tucked in behind some bushes, undetected. As you look to your east, as we're looking at the map, you're looking up the volcano, and you see a main thoroughfare that kind of leads to this path, this central path you see coming down the middle here. And this is thoroughly rutted with cart tracks, because it seems that they have been bringing heavy loads of gold and treasure out this path. In front of you, there's a kind of a path that slopes down to the docks, and on the far side, you see kind of the end of another path and another gate. You see that the gate nearest to the giants is pretty bombed out, like they had just busted it down, and the other two seem pretty weakly defended. But there are people stationed at those gates.
Which gate looks bombed out?
The one closest to the shore.
Got it.
So, heroes, what would you like to do?
I would like to stare in awe. What should I roll?
Roll an awe check. That'll be a D12 plus your awe modifier.
Can I use my tongue depressor to get advantage for my awe check?
If you use the tongue depressor, you will have to make an emotions check afterwards to see if your mental health recovers.
I'll take it. Let me find my dice.
All right.
I'm really proud of that one.
I think it was wonderful.
Yeah, the tongue depressor coming in. I'm proud of that. You took it further. That's good. Yeah. So that's
yes and it's a PG-13 show. Get depressed with these tongues. So heroes, what would you like to do?
It looks like the only gate that's been busted through is the gate near the docks. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And looking at the giants
down.
What are they doing?
So the bigger ones seem to be loading this gold and treasure onto this giant ship that's in the harbor. It's massive. I mean, it makes the Borealis look like a schooner. I don't know, a tugboat, a rowboat, a canoe, a kayak.
Not about size, okay? Let's not get into a size war here.
It's about the motion of the vehicle over the ocean.
Okay.
So it seems like the larger giants are down there. Some of the more runty ones, like the ones that ambush you in the forest, seem to be stationed you see them moving in and out of the guard towers, and into this sort of prison camp. You see some creatures in cages. It's difficult to make out what they are.
Okay. And the debris that we see in the town looks like it's recent, or it looks like the town was already sort of abandoned, decayed, and they just moved in and are grave robbing.
It looks very freshly burned. It looks very freshly attacked.
Okay. And they're storm giants, I assume?
Yeah, and so you'll see they have like it's very imposing. Like this would be like, other than maybe like a few brushes with like the high muckamucks of Silver Spear, these are the most terrifying things that you've ever seen, right? Maybe some of the high mages, high sages of your house would have been this scary, but very little more.
All right, so Odd's gonna hunker down, kind of lean into his buds, get in like a little huddle formation. You're like,
I
okay,
love
guys.
this.
The chips are down. It looks like we've got more of these storm giants here. And now they've got prisoners.
Well, that's not good. How many prisoners do you think you saw?
How many prisoners did I see?
You saw like 6 or 10 cages that were
Between
that
like
are visible?
6 to 10 cages, somewhere in that range.
Okay. Well, prisoners means maybe they didn't kill everyone, so that's at least something, right?
Yes, I
Okay.
like the positivity. Good attitude.
6 to 10 in a town that big is disproportionate, shall we say?
I think Elin will come in with a completely different accent and will say, I actually completely agree with Bubbles. Yeah, no, that seems small.
Yeah, well,
Well-
they probably only took the ones they knew they could handle.
So you think the prisoners look particularly like pushovers?
I don't know. I didn't see them. Odd. What do you think?
How what was the on a scale of 1 to absolute wimp? What are these prisoners?
Roll a sizing them up check. Do you have this is like a big distance, right? That you're trying to gauge. them
And
from.
Odd also does not have a good grip on like social norms. So
Yeah, so it just is like they just seem like weird green creatures in a cage. Like you're
Yeah.
not sure what they are.
well, they look alive. And I think that's really what we need to focus on here.
All right. Well, you didn't see Irbelar, did you? The captain?
No, I assume not.
Mhm.
They're all green. Unless
They're
you've
all
been green. Yeah.
Like the same green as the mergoblins we saw earlier?
Yeah, like green. I don't know, man. I just saw them for a second. Do you want to peek?
I
Yeah.
want to take a look. I'm going to go take a look.
Okay, let's make a group perception check. Does anyone have a means of like magically enhancing their ability to scan the area?
I would like to magically enhance my ability to scan the area by sneaking closer.
Okay. So you're on this cliff face. You're looking at like a 50, 60 foot descent. It's
Okay,
kind of
never
like
mind.
I'm gonna pray to Kendret. Kendall's gonna pray to Kendret and say, Kendret, guide my eyes, and going to go ahead and cast guidance on himself.
Dirty 20 for Odd.
That is a dirty 20 for Kendall as well.
Hey.
this is a
Actually,
filthy-
wait, I didn't add my perception. Actually, that's a dirty 24 for Kendall.
Okay, cool.
Oh.
I got 16, so it's around 60.
All right, so we're at like a 20 for the group check here. So we'll say you will see these creatures are I have a couple tokens here that I will bring into focus, and then you also see on the far side a few other things. So these look to be they have reptilian features, but the way that the sun catches their skin, it seems to like bounce off like a gem. Like it seems to reflect and refract. And so you see them, they're kind of they're locked in these cages, and they don't seem wimpy, but they're not like very imposing.
I swear
Do they
I've
look
heard about a creature like
okay?
this before.
They look just from the distance. I don't think you can discern facial.
But like, do they look injured? Is there like blood, raggedy, whatever?
So like the ones that are in the cages, no. So like what you would see around the city is that you would see kind of like various corpses of these same creatures strewn about.
So are there corpses that are closer to the cliff than the prison?
Yeah.
To get a better idea for the type of creature that they are?
Yeah. You would see like bodies littered in the streets. There are there are the packs of wolves sort of going around and kind of picking the bodies apart.
Gross.
And so the other thing that you'll get with a 24 is you will, looking down beneath you, not too far, there seems to be a tunnel through the rock face, and you see it looks like a single file line of creatures that have been marched, and you see like giant footprints that seem to be, first it was giant footprints, then it was whatever these creatures are, and then giant footprints behind, and it seems to lead off, and this tunnel leads off into the forest. Hello.
I think that is not how footprints work.
How does it work?
You can't tell like the order that they were walking in if they all walked along the same time. I mean, unless you're like tracking, but you know what I'm saying? Like unless they jumped and then jumped.
If there's like a big giant foot and then small feet, like when the giant foot would squish out the little foot.
Okay, so you can tell that there were little feet after a big feet with no more big feet to wash away the little feet. There you go.
There you go.
Now we're thinking with portals.
There we go. So you'll also make that out.
All right, I'm going to point that out to everybody else. And go, where do you think they are bringing them with this tunnel?
Tunnel? Where?
Their ships are at the shore, so why are they walking them through a tunnel?
What?
Can we tell which direction the tunnel is going, generally speaking?
It seems to be, if you were looking at it, so it would be directly cut underneath you on the map. It's not represented. It's just sort of where that path leads. It goes into a tunnel that goes underneath. You could intuit that it would lead into the jungle some distance back towards like where you had kind of moved around.
So not really towards the volcano?
It's not really, it's kind of like circumnavigating the volcano. But more shallow than y'all had come in wide.
And then how many giants are in the village still around the
Around the village, there's only like 4 or 5. The bulk of the people seem to be down by the dock. It seems like whatever was going on is coming to an end.
I just want to say, I feel like people are the vibe is that we should do something with the prison, and so that's great. I love that. I think my character has no inherent motivation to go down there, so that's why I'm kind of quiet. But I'm ready to go. But somebody else needs to make this start happening, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so here's the situation as I see it, team.
Okay. How is the situation as you see it, Odd?
There's 2 sets of prisoners, right? There's the ones in the village, and then there's the ones that were taken away down this tunnel. Now, we don't know what happened to the ones taken away down this tunnel. They could be dead for all we know, but we know that the prisoners in the village are okay. So I think we should sneak down into the village very covertly, not alerting any of the soldiers. We should get the prisoners, and then we should leave.
Why?
A couple of questions about this plan. First question. How do we leave?
Quietly.
No, but where are we leaving to and how?
Well, we're leaving to not the village with our legs.
So that's the jungle.
I guess. I didn't really think it through that far, man.
It's very important to figure out how you leave.
Well, where do you think we should leave?
I
We
don't
can come
know.
back here. This is defensible, right? High ground? I don't know.
Well, this is the high ground. High grounds are generally defensible. We don't really have much in the way of getting supplies here, so. Also,
but they
I think
might have.
we'll figure that out later, you know?
also the second question I had. Why is it a better idea to go into the town where all of the giants are?
Yeah, I'm kind of stuck on that one a bit myself.
Because how else are we going to get the people out?
But okay, all right. How else are we going to get us out if we go in there and get caught?
You just want to leave those people down there?
I don't
They're in
know.
cages, man.
Yeah. All right.
What if you were in a cage? Wouldn't you want someone to come and get you out?
Maybe.
I would also want that person does not immediately die or find themselves in a cage, and then there is no point.
Slay.
Okay, Bert, guy and lady. What do you think we should do then?
I think we should do it. It sounds fun.
You just wanted to make me feel bad about it first. I see.
No, I'm just covering all my bases.
I think
All
we
right,
can
well-
decide where we are going when we leave. And should things go sideways, where we'll meet up if we get separated.
That's
We
a
can
good
hide
idea.
on-
That's a good idea.
We could hide on the beach. It's nice and dry
Okay.
there. And there's no, I mean, like pointy plants to get everywhere.
And
Is there a lot of cover to hide behind on the beach?
Even
mean,
will say
there's
bubbles.
some.
I don't think that this is maybe the best. Hiding on a beach. How do you propose that we do that?
Well, we could dig a hole. Although I guess that means I would be digging a hole.
What if we just meet back here?
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Uh,
Should we set up like a ladder or something?
Yeah,
What?
I think that would go well for us.
Yeah.
We have rope from the ship. Yes,
Yeah.
We
we
do.
could just make a rope ladder.
Yes.
A very simple one. We don't need to get fancy.
All right. So first, there's an interest in making a rope ladder. So you have this is kind of a loose rock face that's in front of you. If you were to make a rope ladder, would you want to invest time or make rolls for it? Like, are you looking to do this sooner? Or are you
We
looking
said
to do
it's
this?
like late morning, so we have time unless we're worried that the giants will.
We don't really know what they're doing. When we looked over at them, did it look like they were getting ready to go someplace, or
Well,
Look like they were loading
Loading.
things on. But it
Yeah.
didn't. They don't have like sails unfurled or whatever it may be.
what if they go back into the town once they're done loading? Maybe we should get it done.
Maybe we should do it while they're distracted. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I like
I
where your
think
head's
we
at.
should just do this. As far as a rope ladder goes, I mean, I'm envisioning not like your classic like playground rope ladder. I'm envisioning, the rope that has big knots on it that you can use as footholds.
Gotcha.
Because that's something that could be made fairly quickly, and can be used easier than climbing a rock face would be.
Okay.
But doesn't have as many failure points.
Of course. So we have kind of issue one that we have to deal with is the kind of scaling the heights and how you'll get there. So we have the answer to that, rope ladder. The other two things that are going on is you have the patrols of dire wolves that are going around the city. What's the plan to deal with them?
Haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
Did
Do you
we
think
want
they
to
can-
roll for rope ladder?
Nope. I think that makes perfect sense. I think that's just reasonably doable.
How long is it going to take us to descend?
It would just be, maybe if you're doing it stealthily, you're trying to be quiet. Longest would be a minute.
Oh, okay, cool. Do you guys want to let's hang out up here and check out this this guard situation as we are trying to be sneaky.
Well,
Sneaky is good.
I was going to ask if you knew much about direwolves, Odd, because you know a lot of biological things, and perhaps you may know some things that will help us figure out how to not get eaten by them.
Direwolves are biological, right?
Yes, they are, generally speaking.
What do I know about direwolves?
They're large wolves. They are. This is you thumb through your book, and like in the very early pages, you saw direwolves. Yeah, it's like very beginning. You see direwolves, and they are just wolves. They like meat. They are more ravenous. They're large. Sometimes they're infused with magic to get them so big. Sometimes they're just born bigger, stockier.
Are they good trackers?
Yeah, if they're unimpaired, yeah, absolutely.
But they have They have wolf intelligence, right?
Yeah, they're no smarter. Let me read you off here.
What if they notice our trail because we smell and then they follow us?
That's a good point. I have read a couple of things about scent masking. We could try that. There's lots of trees and mud and stuff around here.
Not mud.
Well, if you think
just like reaches down without consulting anyone, just reaches down and scoops up some mud and starts smearing it on his face and like stuffing it down his shirt. He offers some up to Karis.
Elin will kind of like will look like not super happy about it, but like has done this enough where it's like okay, and it's like rubbing herself down with some different leaves from the forest, and she breaks out in highs. But some different stuff and gets some mud on herself.
Right. Is there a pattern to the patrols that we've noticed? Anyone able to tell? I can't pick out anything.
Before we move on from the mud, I want to ask, can I make an int roll to see if there's anything that might irritate Kendall before putting this mud on him? Because Kendall would want to like peruse
nature. Make a nature check.
Okay, sure, nature. I'll do nature. Kendall, man, when you know things, and when you don't, you really do not.
It's a real stark delineation.
8.
So you think after having spent, so much time touching the black sand and communing with Kindred, you're like, oh, this will be like a nice like way to get like connected with sensorily with my deity.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. Well, Kendall is going to take some of that mud and he's going to start applying it the way you would apply cologne. He's just going to go on like the pulse points. Like...
I'm going to focus on the leaves and less on the mud.
So Karis, you're focusing more on the leaves?
Yeah. Maybe I'll roll survival, my -1 survival to identify ones that are like good for this task.
There might be some that like really draw you to it, like this patch of grass that is like it's like this like wonderful patch of grass, and you smell it and you're like, oh my god, I need to absolutely like I almost need to roll around in this.
Yeah,
you just
so
feel
I'm
a compulsion.
Just covering myself with this stuff, just rubbing it all over. If y'all
would you say it's a plant that may or may not be in the mint family?
I'm just gonna like glance over and be like, Nepeta Cateria.
Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking.
Hey, you want some? It's really nice.
That's okay. That's all you, man.
I've already put on my mud cologne.
So we're going in stealth. We're going in as mud people in the middle of the day to this town.
Mud people, covered in
So
mud.
I'm gonna
pretending to be
communicate.
people.
I'm gonna communicate to the crew this plan. I would like to get close enough to the wall to be able to like hunker down within like 30 feet of the guards, if possible, of the guard that's close to us, so that I can use my jinx on him and give him misfortune.
It's like patrols of wolves, right?
So my hope is that I can get close enough to have them. I mean, how close to the wall are they coming? Within 30 feet
The
of
wolves, so like this nearest one, that they'll sort of like wander around here, and probably over the course, if you sit and you watch for 10 minutes, that they'll sort of they go in here and they sniff, and they make their rounds throughout kind of a 10-minute, and sometimes they'll like run back, but they always seem to kind of move in this direction. Kind of, it seems magically compelled.
Okay. So, yeah, I'd like to wait until one comes within range of us and then jinx it.
Of the wolf patrols or of the guards in the towers?
Of the wolf patrols.
Of the wolf patrols. Okay.
What do you guys think of this plan? I'm communicating it. I'm not just going
to... you can't tell when you get jinxed?
No, not with my jinx. I'm just that lucky.
Huh. Are we able to drop, like, so, like, there's a wall on the east side, but the north side is just cliffs, right?
The north side is cliffs. You do have that path that's where Kendall saw the footprints leading into the tunnel to the forest. And there doesn't seem to be a lot of cover in this area. You have just a couple trees and some rocks.
Mm. And the guys are down here, right? By the other gate?
The wall is 10 or 15 feet, is 15 feet tall. And it's about 2 or 3.5 feet wide.
Well, it's not like there's a ton of people down there watching. I assume the guards at the wall are going to be watching along the wall and east. So maybe our best bet is to approach from the cliffs. Even if there's not too much cover, we can still stay low. And then anyone below won't be able to see us.
I do also think that you had a good idea of trying to find out what the patterns of the direwolf patrols are. So
you'd be able to time it out to about whoever wants to make a survival check. This Elon, I don't think is your best bet for that.
I have good survival.
Okay, I only want to make a survival check to kind of like time it out.
23.
Okay, cool. So you're able to time it out pretty accurately, and you think like you can say like, all right, they'll be kind of, we'll have the most amount of time at about 5 minutes. That's when they'll be like the furthest away. They'll be digging through these houses over here.
We could when we get down, like we could leave a bunch of meat somewhere so that if we run out of time and they go around the trail following us, they'll get distracted and we'll have a few extra minutes.
Just leave a bunch of meat lying around.
Quick question. Does anyone know how to pick a lock?
And so Elon will look very shifty. And he'll say, no, never. I never picked a lock in my life. I'm a good soldier of House Aerith. Yes.
Does anyone think they might be able to, if pressed to, pick a lock?
Yeah, what if it was like a real emergency?
I could give it a shot. Yeah, if it's just me that can do it, I guess.
Anyone thinks that they might be, if you think you can do it, I'm just, and Kendall looks straight at Elon. I'm just saying, if someone has any idea of how it could be done, that would be very good, and no one would judge them.
And so, while Elon does not have thieves' tools, She does have her smith's tools with her. She does have kind of like her hammer and her stuff, so she could like potentially bash something open. So I'm
So
gonna.
between the two of you.
So
Quietly?
yeah.
Can you do quiet bashing, Elon?
She'll say, "Well, I've never had to do very quiet. Usually my crossbows do all the quiet work, and the hammer opens up. It was once I can be noisy."
Well, then it sounds like Karis probably will be a good one to try this first.
Yeah, maybe you can give me some pointers. I haven't really done it too many times before, but I'm pretty good with that sort of thing.
Bubbles, I'd be happy to help you.
You can do it.
So the plan. So first we have the rope ladder. We're gonna do pile of meat plus kind of trying to just do like we've timed it out so that you have kind of maximum amount of time in the city.
I like to imagine that Karis has also brought some of the grass and just like throws it on top of the meat pile, just as like an added
Cool
distraction.
So then and then sort of the last bit is handle like if you were to get the cages, if you were to get to the cages, how would you handle that? And you're saying that you would do the lock picking for Karis with the assist from Elon.
Yes.
Yep.
So, I mean, how are we going to get them out of there? Like, I can probably carry one, but not sure if any of you could.
Well, hopefully they can walk. Otherwise, you know,
maybe we could heal them,
we could form some
and then they could walk.
rudimentary crutches, or perhaps a split.
Crutches.
That they don't. They seem to be the ones in the cages seem to be standing on their not all fours but all twos.
Let's not assume that they can't walk until that is something we have to deal with.
No, but we could bring some sticks just in case.
Let's make I'm gonna work on fashioning like a pallet kind of situation out of like, are there any like leaves, like palm fronds?
Yes,
what's the
100%.
jungle? Yeah, so I'm gonna make like a palm frond pallet that we can maybe roll up and carry under my arm, and that can be deployed if necessary
to stretcher someone out.
Correct.
Okay, cool. So you have that.
In case.
So we have a rope ladder. Somehow we're gonna palm frond carry people up a rope ladder. Love that.
We're gonna come down and be the palm frond fairy.
It's gonna go really well.
It's gonna go exactly the way you think it's gonna go.
I'm very excited to see those strength checks come together.
So strong. We're such a strong team.
So strong team, big strong team dynamic. So we will make this. This is going to be a fun skills challenge here. So the first thing that we need to do is descend. So you have the rope ladder. So we're going to make athletics or acrobatics at advantage.
All right.
Ooh, at advantage, you said. That's good.
Good thing there was advantage, because instead of a 2, I got a 3.
That would have been rough.
It's still rough.
16 at -1 strength for me.
My result is 9 for acrobatics.
Okay.
I got a 19 in acrobatics.
Wonderful. So you are able to, Karis, sort of still just seems to like wants to get away from the rope after about halfway down. Like,
not feeling well still.
Like the something about the grass just isn't sitting well, and they just start to like skitter down the side wall, and you see Elin reach out and like bring them back onto the rope and say, "Climb the rope, Bubbles, climb the rope." And otherwise you're able to make it down to the. So where are you headed? You're headed to the outside of the wall, or you're headed to where the path is?
The path.
The path?
I think we're headed to the path.
The path, and just hope they don't see us because we're elevated. And there's no one there right now.
Well, you are covered in mud.
And try to take it slow. I think we're gonna try to take it slow and just be aware of any eyes, like basically like really be hyper aware of what's happening around us.
Okay, so you all skitter. You all skitter behind a bush here and a bush there. You're just really bushwhacking it. Sure. And so you see your next shot. You see the giants in the distance, a couple 100 feet down on the shore, just kind of moving around, and you hear like a boom, and one of these carts loses a wheel, and you see them blah, 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 blah. And there's babbling and giant that some of you may understand, some of you may not.
Only Elin.
Kendall will understand it.
So Elin sits there and says, "Oh, someone's an idiot." And so you'll see that.
What was the babbling that was happening? Because Kendall can understand giant.
What was the
babbling? An idiot.
Yeah, it's just like idiot. Okay. Why didn't you make a better card? Like, what do we have these engineers for?
Keep an ear out and make sure they're not coming back to check on the prisoners.
So if you want to you have a dash. You have these rocks that are closer to this wall here, and then you could descend into like the back of this burnt out house where this plume of smoke is. So that would be a group stealth check.
Okay, let's do this. Group stealth.
19 for Elon.
19 for our boy.
13 for.
Cool. So you are all able to scoot over to where Elin is, and the rock wall here is not very steep. It's very, very gradual, so you'd be able to walk down it to the bottom. So as you're sitting there, you're kind of sitting there with probably like a very cracked watch at this point that maybe just the second hand works on. I imagine Odd wear a watch.
It was my grandfather's watch. I'm not throwing it away. It's still my watch. Fine.
My grandfather's watch. All right, so you're sitting there, and through kind of the smoke and the time, the way that you understand it, you think that this is your time to move.
Okay, so go.
All right. We go.
So you slide down into the city, and as you look around, there are, you see bodies of these creatures kind of strewn about the streets. That they seem fairly torn up, and the ones that aren't like ripped apart are have like big maul wounds or have just kind of been crushed, and you see like their skin seems to crack like glass when they've been hit. So you touch down. This is kind of this seems to be a house. It's the size of the building that you're in is much bigger than an elves, but it seems to be laid out basically the same.
And it's smaller than a giant's.
It's definitely smaller than a giant's house.
Do the corpses look like combatants or civilians?
Mix of both.
Cool.
Okay, everyone stay down and stay quiet. Try not to inhale too much smoke.
Where should we put the pile of meat?
So you are. I'm going to use Aelin to mark where you are. You're kind of in this area. So you know that the wolf will go over here. Generally, we'll go over here, and then we'll go up here. So, but right now it's down near these houses.
Why don't we go a bit out of the way, southwest, and drop off the meat, and then cut through the ruins of that park over there, so that we can get all the way out without going near the meat pile. As your compatriot, I trust your decision-making skills.
It sounds like a good idea, honestly. Yeah.
All right, so with advantage, make a survival check to kind of place the meat in a way that the wolves will find it.
All of us, or just Karis?
Just Karis.
Okay, thank God.
My result is 1.
is a 1.
Oh
so
no.
so you
Not
like
natural 1, dirty 1.
of just a dirty 1.
It's a dirty one.
So
With
you-
advantage. The last advantage was 2 and 3. This one is 1 and 2.
So that you go into this house over here. I'm gonna move, and you put the meat inside of a closet. You're like, you know what? If they smell the meat, they will absolutely not be bothering us. And you like tightly shut the door and like seal the bottom.
Odd is just standing back watching, like, just be encouraging, man. He keeps telling himself this. He's like, just be encouraged. Don't say anything. Just tell her she's doing a good job.
And so as you poke,
Kendall is like doing that thing where you open your mouth because you want to say something, but you're not sure if you should.
You're doing great, Bubbles. You're doing great. I'm really proud of you.
That's gonna help for sure.
Yes, that's really great. Maybe we'll just and Elin will remove the weather stripping that you've tacked to the bottom of this door in this closet, and we'll just frisbee the meat out randomly into the street. And it'll just be like, maybe that'll work. Maybe they'll get the stuff in the closet.
Both ideas were good. Both ideas were really good. I'm just saying, neither idea was better.
And so you're about you're about
yeah, sure.
About 50 or 100 feet from this central building where these kind of bamboo cages are stocked. And so as you're leaning out the window of this building that you're in, where the meat has just recently been frisbeed out of, you get a kind of closer look. And so these are maybe once or twice throughout your career as you've gone to Vurmaret, like getting away from the Ethereal Isles, maybe you've seen a Dragonborn, but these are usually Dragonborns have horns and they have kind of scaly skin, and these seem to have a very crystalline skin. It's still scaly, but it's every bit of them is brilliant, and they have these horns, but it's part of the horns are cracked, and they seem to be kind of suspended in place, even though they're cracked, with some sort of magical force. And so you get a look, and so these are Emerald Dragonborn. So that's something you would have never seen before. Not something you would be suspicious of, but
neat.
Yep.
They're beautiful.
So you want to make your dash through this kind of group cluster of houses to the prison?
Mm-hmm. Let's do it.
All right, let's make you moving quietly or running?
Wow.
I imagine we're trying to move quietly, right? Like we don't want to be caught. We're probably not trying to go exceptionally slow because we're trying to make
as quickly as
it's gonna have to be a compromise.
Yeah, between the two.
So we'll make stealth regular.
Okay.
No advantage.
My result is 12.
20, 12. Another world. 18. What did you roll on?
13.
13. All right, cool.
Pretty solid for odd.
So we start to you move through the city, and you see from the tower one of the giants seems to kind of he seems to look out and peer out into the ruins.
I freeze.
Towards you.
Like and duck
How
behind
far are we
a house and hide.
From them.
So you would be like here. These are like thoroughly burned out houses, and so you could like kind of duck in or duck behind some rubble. But he's staring out over, like he saw a flash of something.
And how far is he from us?
He's about 50 or 60 feet. The tower is about, let's see, it's about 100 feet away.
As soon as Kendall notices, he would just drop to the ground behind a wall. Like, not in any kind of graceful way, would just, as quickly as he can, just drop to the ground behind a wall.
Okay, and so you'll see that as Aelin kind of goes down, and everybody goes boom, and kind of hits the deck in an interesting move together. You start to hear kind of someone, like Aelin will kind of peek around and kind of get his eye on the person. And and it seems like the person is like turning to the other guard, and he'll say, in giant, he'll say, "You see anything?" And the other guy will say, "No. What are you talking about?" And the other, then the original will say, "I swear I saw it. Maybe it was just the wolves." And he'll turn back around.
What are you saying?
They were trying to figure out if they saw anything.
What did they think?
They don't think they saw anything.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Cool. So, you are all sort of laid out or tucked behind rubble here, making your last shot through. The guards are aware now, so the DC has gone up.
Let's try and make our way around to the far outside as well, where there's a little bit of visual shelter from the
Now
guards.
that some time has passed, the wolves
over
are further
here.
from there too, so that's a good idea.
This area, yeah?
The area like
Okay.
east of that.
So you want to move over here?
A bit.
Is that
Over here?
On the way to the prison, just kind of.
Okay, as a way to get there. All right, cool. We'll make a stealth check regular.
Mm.
My result is 10.
I knew the dice gods had been too kind for too long. It is a 7 here.
So as you
What did you get, Odd?
I'm gonna re-roll mine using my whatever luck. I can never remember what it's called. Let me just find it really quick. But I'm gonna re-roll mine. And we did worse that time. Okay, so 8 for Odd.
so as you run up to this building, so you'll see kind of just as you stand up from the squat or from like where everyone had hit the deck, like there's just like a clang of like I don't know what random things Odd would have on his person.
It's the fronds.
Oh, it's the front.
Fronds.
And so there's just like a loud rustling noise, and
They're
so
loud
Probably a big
together. It's
jangle
wood.
from
Yeah.
the Kendrick holy symbol that Kendall's holding.
it bangs up against her weapon or his weapon, and as you get towards the camp, you see one of these skinnier giants standing guard at the camp. And he says, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And he'll start moving forward towards you.
To clarify, they can see us, yeah?
The one that, so sorry, let me show him. This guy can see you.
This guy over here?
Right in front of you. Nope.
All right. What are you doing? We are here to bring the good word of Kendrick to you today. Have you heard of Kendrick?
Proselytizing.
And Kendall's just going to lean into the fact that he's got his holy symbol on him, that he just got out of the ship. We're here to bring the good word of Kendrick. And he's talking in giant, just so you know. Like with his accent.
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage.
This is all I can think to do right now, y'all.
It's good. No, it's good.
When in doubt, proselytize.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's so disappointing. Oh man. So I rolled an 11 and then I rolled a nat 20. So plus my persuasion, the 11 since it's at disadvantage. Let's see. That'd be a 12.
Okay, we're gonna roll. Let's see how smart this giantling is. Right. Oh my gosh, he might actually buy this. Oh my gosh. So he will say, but why you I've seen someone like you got on one of the ships, but there's not supposed to be more of you. You're supposed to be dead. And
Yeah.
he'll grab his long sword and will start to rush at you.
And this moment, I would like to perform a like as he's speaking, like while they're speaking, I don't know what they're saying, but I'm like, okay, I think I see where this is going. So Karis starts like performing a like formal, like really fancy cool dance routine that she knows as part of the like to sell the situation of like, oh, that this is like a really like cool like new hot religion to get a part of.
Odd just starts clapping along,
like kind of dancing like around, but
so
like,
we're just in all auspices of stealth are being thrown out.
I'm doing it like
we've been seen. Let's lean into this.
We've been seen by this one. I'm still going to be hiding from the ones in the towers by being on the west side of the building.
Okay, that is fair. As this starts to happen, as this moves out at you, you feel all of a sudden all of the air gets drawn out of the area that you're in, and as this giantling dives towards Kendall with his sword, the sound somehow seems to be completely shut off in this area, and you recognize that a silent spell has been cast. You don't know whom has cast this, but you know that one has been cast. So we can... I don't think that this is a particular threat, so I'm not going to have initiative rolled. But how would you like to deal with this rambunctious and now silenced giant?
He's coming at me, right?
Yep, it's completely quiet now, so it's terrifying. It's like you know it should sound like whoa, and there's nothing. It's just
well, Kendall is going to attempt to sidestep it.
Okay.
Since he's just being rushed. What should I roll for that?
Well, I'm just gonna use the mechanic then. Let's just roll initiative then. If we're gonna do that.
I can't talk my way out of this if silence up.
No, but we could just describe like a quick combat, I think was the
the
implication, because it's just one enemy that like, but I'm also cool with rolling initiative, whatever you want to do.
Well, let's describe a quick combat. So you attempt to step out of the way. He I'll just do mage here. Roll 3d10s.
Me?
Yep.
Okay. One. Let me find a second one. 2 and 3. That would be...
Just give me the numbers. Like 7, 7, 3.
10, 6, 4.
Cool. So you're able to move out of the way and kind of bonk him on the back with your quarterstaff.
Well, with my stick, it's not really a quarterstaff, but yeah.
With your stick of kindred.
They're supposed to look like Eskrima sticks or Kali sticks. That's what I had initially envisioned. We never really talked about it in the game, though.
Okay. So what does that look like?
They're sticks about like maybe 2 feet long. That are just sort of rounded at the ends. Like there's no like sharp edges or anything. They're really just meant for blunt damage and defense. So yeah, he would totally do that as he sidestep and just catch him in maybe the back of his head as he walked by, as he came by.
And
cool.
Maybe the giant like stumbles a bit, and since I'm already kind of doing fancy ribbon stuff, and doing circles around Kendall at the time, I'm able to like take advantage of that to reach out and like catch a leg and then cause the giant to trip over. While
absolutely bogwa him.
Okay, and so you'll see this happen, and Elon will just already has like a bit of rope out, getting ready to tie this guy's arms together behind his back. And as this happens, Elon just kind of pounces, and it ties his, like, knocks the sword out of his hand, or attempts to knock the sword out of his hand. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so he knocks the sword out of his hand, and so now you kind of have this disarmed guy on the ground. Odd, how would you like to contribute to this?
I was trying to help. So I think he probably just like bodily full jumps on top of the guy's head once he's down. Just like, ah!
I got him.
Got him!
Except we can't hear you.
Except, so you hear Odd, you see Odd excitedly going,
Yeah. I got him! Yep.
so then you're able to kind of affix this giant to the ground with cuffs. And you see, so you are under the effects of a silent spell, but you would recognize, Kendall would recognize that it has barriers. Doesn't go forever.
Can we see them?
See who?
Can we see
The barriers of the silence?
the barriers of the silence spell?
You would not be able to see it, but you would
Okay.
be able to, as soon as you hit it, you'd be able to be like, all right, this is... So
Well-
how would you like to dispose of this apprehended giant?
Y'all can handle that. I'm out of here. I'm going to cages while you deal with it.
Well, he's apprehended. He's not able to do anything at this point, right?
No, he's on the ground,
Okay.
tied up.
I'm gonna
Then I
drag
think-
him over to like a wall and maybe try and just cover him with debris, I think is the move.
Before Odd is able to drag him anywhere, Kendall will walk ahead of Odd and hum to himself until he can, and if he can hear himself, he'll stop Odd and not let Odd go forward.
Clever.
Because we don't want this guy in shouting area.
Agreed.
So singing a happy song to yourself, singing one of the old classic hymns of Kindred.
Oh, and well, no, I mean, I think also a quick blunt smash to the head just to knock him out as well.
Give him, okay. So you give him a bonk, and he seems to loll.
Lol. Good word. Good use of that word.
Thank you. I opened a dictionary this week.
Wow.
Nice.
A physical dictionary? Because that is
No,
impressive.
come on, that would be cringe.
That would be crazy.
That would be
Listen, I have my morals and my boundaries. Okay, a physical dictionary, hard limit. So, this kind of lolls off, and Karis kind of scooting around. How are you approaching? So there's some cages. There's like a cage that's sort of on the corner, and they face the tower where it is, but you might be able to talk to whoever's in this closest cage.
Yeah. Yeah. So, am I still in the silence bubble, or not?
You should be able to get over there. You would have to move out of it.
Can I tell you all the song that I thought of
I'm
that
just gonna
Kendall might be
start,
humming?
Like trying to stealthily unlock cage. But yeah, you tell the thing.
Yes,
Also,
please.
Yeah, Sound of Silence by Paul Simon.
In a German accent, though. You're humming it in a German accent.
Central European scat singing, what we didn't know we needed on our D&D live play, actual play. Sorry, dead play.
Play.
Hashtag dead play. So you move over. You move over to the cage, and you're looking to open it. Elon will kind of move over quietly with you, and will sort of point things out.
Yeah. Okay.
So as you get there, you get kind of this very close-up look of this emerald dragonkin, and he says, "Wait, an elf? What are you doing here?"
Great question. Are you ready to hide?
What?
Great. Great question. We'll discuss it later. For now, get ready to jump, sneakily, do you have any... Oh, Elin, Eden, can you grab a corpse to put in here so that they don't notice?
Yeah, sure, Bubbles. Yeah, that's no problem.
Okay, perfect. And I'm just gonna start.
And so you're gonna try to do like a switcheroo, this dragonkin for the dead dragonkin?
Yeah, with the help of this dragonkin.
All right, cool. So, let me figure out what the heck I'm gonna roll for this. So, Elin is gonna search out a whole corpse.
But it doesn't need to be a whole corpse because the guards are far away. As long as there's like visible shiny green skin, like we're getting most of the way there.
Okay, so we're gonna. Okay, I understand what's occurring now. So Elin drags over
This is
most
wild.
of a
This is wild, y'all.
an emeraldkin. And the emeraldkin. While this is happening, the emeraldkin will say, "If they said they're gonna take us away. They said they're gonna take us and sell us in the Withering Archipelago. You have to find Zeosug. I think they're on the other side of the building. They can help. They can help Nilmananji. They can help free the matron.
Okay.
And he's sort of bumbling on about this.
Is there anyone like guarding them on the other side of this building? Will it be fine? Are they friendly? Friend material?
Zeosug is definitely friend material. Yes.
And what do they look like?
Like me but old.
Okay, so I'll do this like discussion while trying to unlock the cage. So
okay, so all right, so you will make your thieves tools check at advantage.
My result is 18.
So yeah, so you're able to get this open. It's nothing super complex. It's just sort of a basic iron padlock. And so you say, okay, great. So now Aelin comes over with the body, and now we're gonna do sleight of hand for the switcheroo.
Great. Shall I roll?
Yes, you should.
This
Okay,
is still
that
sleight
was
of
a nat
hand
one.
with the whole ass body.
It like hovered on 19, and now it's a nat 1. So the result is 7, but with a critical failure if you want one.
No, skill checks don't have critical failure.
Okay,
I don't play that. So 7.
Oh no.
It's all weekends at Bernie's over here. Oh yeah, this is my friend. Look at him totally talking.
As the kind of gate swings open from
Super not psychopaths. Nobody worry.
Super sane over here, actually.
As the gate swings open, and you sort of try to quickly shove the body in underneath the person stepping out, the dragonkin trips over it. You effectively have tripped the dragonkin, and he lets out a loud "Huh!"
With the corpse of his own grandmother.
Jeez.
And
that's really what threw him, isn't it?
Okay, and so you hear kind of the barking, the kind of like barking of wolves in the distance, or whatever they make, the kind of, and you hear increased intensity from them. Okay. They seem to be getting closer faster than you anticipated.
By this time, I assume that Odd and Kendall have returned, and maybe
Odd's gonna jog up, very sweaty from hauling this body. He's a weak man.
Maybe
just like
maybe Elin tells them about the person on the other side of the building to go find, because I'm on a time constraint now, and I think I'm the best bet of unlocking the other cages.
All right, so Elin will lead, will kind of stay on the other side, and so she'll poke her head around, and kind of sitting in an isolated cage that seems to have a thicker lock on it, is this more ancient emeraldkin, and they seem to have they seem to be, that you recognize, Kendall, that they're concentrating on a spell.
Hello. How are you?
What are you doing here?
Breaking you out.
Oh, okay.
Odd just leans over and he's like, "You have great bedside manner."
Okay.
All right, so you have the lock in front of you. All
Yeah.
right.
Let's I don't know what tools Kendall is even using, honestly.
Elin could try to. Elin has her Smith tools,
Okay.
so she could try to literally like smash the lock open.
Smith tools is actually great. I was gonna say like if you have a cantrip for like screwing with, I don't know, cantrip, but like there's like spells that you can use on objects and stuff. I don't know if inflict wounds is usable on objects, but that's it's not going to resist you. So
I have an idea.
Right.
So Kendall is going to turn to Elin and go, so metal, when it is very cold, it is brittle, yes?
Yes.
Odd gets
All
very
right.
excited in the corner all of a sudden.
So he's going to put his hand over the lock and cast prestidigitation to chill it about as much as he can. And go, all right, let's see if we can smash this thing open.
All right, cool. We're going to make a thieves tool check.
And quick prayer over Elin. May Kendrick guide you. May Kendrick guide you. It's not a cross, it's a wheel. So it's may Kendrick guide you.
Now watch me whip. Watch me nay-nay. Watch me whip. Watch me nay-nay. Yeah. That might be the worst thing I've done on the stream so far. There's something
There's still time.
Wax
there's
off.
still time.
All right, so we're gonna do a d20 roll at advantage, plus proficiency, Smith tools, maybe dexterity. So
plus guidance.
3 plus proficiency. So that is So she's gonna bring up this hammer, and it's just gonna come down, and the lock is gonna snap open, because it's already a 23 before guidance even comes in. Okay. With guidance, let's see what it is. It's a 26. So yeah. Nice. So you bust this lock open, and he says, we do not, and so Zeosag will say, we, and this kind of broken common or broken Elvish will say, elves, you should not be here. We have to climb the volcano.
Okay.
Nilmananji can help us.
We have a ladder.
Great. Yeah, let's go.
So we'll go there. Okay.
Okay. So as you sort of have this, so while this is happening, maybe you have time for another. You are sort of like looking up towards the tower. So Adora, you are looking up sort of at the tower. All the other cages are facing this watchtower.
Yeah, I think I'm going to just have to try harder this time to do the sleight of hand.
Okay, so
that seems like the best plan I have right now.
So you sort of have like maybe there are like a couple boxes or barrels alongside of this building.
Nice.
Otherwise, it seems pretty, seems pretty open to the tower. How are you trying to hide yourself?
Oh, well, I'll hide behind the cages.
So you're just gonna like dive from cage to cage?
I think that if I'm looking and like the giants are like actively kind of like looking, I might like toss something farther away to like get their attention long enough to dash to the next piece of cover.
Okay, so we will do this. So make an attack roll.
Okay.
With Dex. Okay,
my attack roll is 13.
Okay, so you're able to skitter us.
Sorry, is it with proficiency?
Yeah.
Okay, then the attack roll is 15.
Okay, so you're able to kind of skitter a stone maybe 80, 100 feet. So you pick something up and you chuck a stone like over I'm going to use Aelin as a marker again, like over here, and
Great.
you draw the attention over there. You think for a couple seconds, and you go to dive. Make your thieves tools check.
Okay, my sleight of hand normal is sorry, I have a bunch of character sheets up now. My sleight of hand normal check is 9.
So yeah, you're working with this lock, and you snap one of your picks as you're going into it.
This is what I get for using. This is what I get for using needles from a tree instead of actual lockpicks. I thought it would work. Splinters hurt my skin.
So yeah, so you are now behind. So like, there's these 3 on this wall here. This wall facing, kind of like this. I can't get it to line up because it snaps to the grid. But like in this area, there's 3. So you're behind this middle one here.
You got the 1, right?
So you got 1 out, and there's
3.
another 2 on this wall.
Yeah.
And so you just sort of broke your pick inside of the 1.
Okay.
And the person again will say, just get Zeosug and get out of here. We can be safe later. We need Nilmananji. They can help us. They can help us.
So this is a bamboo cage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna try to like snap the latch. I'm gonna try to cut through the latch. I'm gonna try to slice it using slicey ribbon for extra leverage, very precisely, at the point where the lock touches it, because the lock is made of metal, and if I want to cut through the bamboo, I have to cut a bunch of places. But if I can just cut the latch, the bamboo latch, then we'll be golden. Like if I can just cut the door like right where the lock is attached to it. So that is what I'm gonna try to do. I'm not good with this stuff, but I'm gonna do this.
Make an attack roll.
15.
So you're able to get about halfway through, and you see as you look up, you see the attention of the guards sort of falling back onto the area.
Okay, so I'm gonna duck back behind.
How long is this process taking?
So this is I'm kind of going in rounds, so it's about the same. So y'all would be shortly coming around the corner with Zeosug.
So I'm when I like fail, I'm gonna just hop back to like hide behind one of the cages, like between the cage and the wall behind the prisoner.
Okay.
And so my plan is to continue to do the same thing until they arrive. So if they're arriving right now, then we can just move forward to that.
Okay, so you have the one person, the one survivor freed, and the sort of dumped body, and Zeosug freed. And so y'all are all going to try to make your way out of the city together the same way that you came in?
Mm-hmm.
There's still 2 people we got to free.
So this is just an estimation, right? These are the amount on the wall. As you look out, there's about 12 more cages that seem to contain individuals.
We will free what we can right now. We can come back.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
So, and you are realizing that time is running relatively short. Like, though you are going to have to deal with wolves pretty soon.
All right.
Better to free a couple of peoples and no one.
And Zeosug will say, once I free the matron, this will not be a problem. Let us get up to the top of the volcano before the giants become aware of what is going on. I free the matron.
So you see
The
Karis
matron's here?
Is that in the mountain? Yes. Near Mananji. And he's looking at you incredulously, like, you don't know what this is?
Tunnel. The ones that say we're going into the tunnel, I think that's what they mean.
Yeah, the matron's not here though, right?
Right.
In the village, no. But they are a giant dragon. They live in the volcano.
Oh, hard to miss. Okay.
Logical.
Oh, okay. Because you are
we
dragon.
Need to go.
You are dragonborn, so of course. Okay, yes, let's go.
So,
if you're sure you want to leave the rest of your people here?
Their big dragon mom will take care of it.
Okay.
I am.
Mom, is it your mother?
As people start walking back along the way that we came, you see Karis kind of like look around frantically, and then like have a light bulb appears above her head. Literally, that's not true, but I decided it's real. And then
It's real in our hearts.
it's not even that good of a light bulb, but I just take all of the best. Oh, you know what I do? I grab the litter from Odd, and I just give it to one of the Emeraldkin, and like grab off one of the fronds and show them that it's like a really good like lock picking tool, actually, and just leave.
Bob looks very hurt that you stole his palette.
I'm sorry. Hopefully they can get themselves out. It'll be exponential, right?
I made that. I spent a lot of time on it.
You spent a lot of time on it so that they can get out and they can be safe, and this is what we are doing with it.
So as you get there,
Time well spent.
As you arrived, as you sort of, you've sprung this one person free, you've sprung Zeosug free. They've implored you to sort of, get up and free the dragon that lives in the volcano. So we need to make, if you're moving back the same way, we need to make stealth checks, regular.
Where did my luck go? Where did it go? I got a 7.
Yeah. I got a 7.
9.
Where did it go?
What did Elon get?
Do you guys
A
remember
6.
when we were lucky on these rolls? I
do
remember.
remember
Pepperidge
that.
Farm remembers.
No.
So the Pepperidge Farm remembers. Oh my god! So the dragon, the Zeosug, moves along very quietly in front of everyone, and then there's just like the jumble and tambourine band behind them.
Got a lot of adrenaline.
The goddamn Hare Krishnas, and you hear in giant elves in the city, and you hear a horn go off. What do you do?
How confident are we that we have been seen by everyone?
You have been seen by the one giant at the gate.
And they
For
made
sure.
a loud noise with their like loud noise machine.
With their loud noise horn.
Mm-hmm.
We could
You
just
hear
book
this
it.
kind
I
of
mean, we're not
blast.
that far.
I
That's
think
probably
booking
what
it is
Odd
all
would
we
do.
have.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
book it.
All right, let's book it.
So you
Yeah.
move quickly. You move quickly through the city. This giant will hop down and try to pursue. Let's make. Oh my gosh, I haven't done a chase in D&D 5th edition in so
I have
long.
never.
I don't even know the freaking mechanics for it. Chase 5th edition.
This build is so funny.
I think it's dexterity checks. It's competitive. Okie dokes. So here we go. So these two Goliath these two giantlings will hop down and will start chasing after you, and they kind of start to get onto your tail as you make your way towards the smoked out house. The smoked out house where you sort of had descended the gradual rock wall previously.
So I think. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I think that because we will like if we get to the rope ladder, they can just like take pot shots at us for like a long time. If we outpace them significantly, that's not necessarily going to be enough for us to outrun them. So I think that what I might do is like at one moment when we like pass behind a building or something, I might try to go a different direction, like around this house to the east, so that I can still curve back over eventually. But then they can get people like Zeosug, who's probably not the fastest ladder climber, up and out of the way without the giants chasing them. And so they might not follow me, but I'm going to try to like distract them with fancy dances and stuff.
So you're gonna try to like draw their attention away from the rest of the group.
I'd like to draw their attention by dancing.
Cool. So everyone will these Goliaths start to make their way up. You're kind of scrambling up the rock wall. I keep saying Goliath. These giantlings will make their way up, and they're sort of running through the central area here. And Karis up will come over this way and start to run kind of like along the wall here, and we'll start kind of like whooping and making noise and starting to like whip the ribbon around.
Ribbon, yeah.
And so make a performance check.
I'm good at this. You might be surprised as a dancer. All right, 25.
Okay,
Yeah,
so that they
queen.
start to chase you. You are able to successfully distract them, and now you are sort of like peeled away from the group, and Zeosug and the other Emerald Dragonkin are moving up the hill towards the rope ladder.
So now I'm in a chase, but if I don't know if this is like anyone's style, but while once y'all are mostly gonna good, I don't know, while I'm trying to get up the wall and everything, and like the gravel, like all of the like different chunks to climb and stuff, and get away from these giantlings, just in case anyone feels like throwing stuff down to like get in their way or like knock them over to help me get out of there. That could also be fun, but no pressure. This is just only if it's
I think Odd's gonna go more for the angle of like holding onto the rope and reaching down over the edge to grab your hand. He's offering you
that's later.
assistance.
That's a later stage of this, I think.
So
yeah.
We move the 30 feet forward.
He's hoisting Dragonborn up by their butts. That's the move.
Running up here.
Dignified.
You're kind of, you tuck yourself in behind some rocks. The giantlings are chasing after Adora. Adora, what would you like to do? You have their attention. Where are you running? Why are you running?
Where are you running?
So I'm gonna run to the spot. I just wanted to like make them be further behind everybody else by distracting them in a bit of a circle for a second, like around this house instead of directly to the wall. But otherwise, we're just going to be behind by like an extra like 4 or 5 rounds or whatever.
Okay, so they'll move ahead. You're kind of giving them the runaround.
Giving them the runaround. That's what I'm here for.
So, and then you make your way forward here. You start climbing the rope. Now we get to make a whole bunch of athletics checks to get up at advantage. Acrobatics or athletics.
Everyone? Just to be clear.
Everyone.
Not me.
Oh, good. I did okay.
And that is rolling normally, right?
Rolling at advantage because the rope.
Oh, thank God.
Dirty 20 or odd.
All right, we got ourselves a good old 13 acrobatics.
Solid.
It was better than the 2 we had before.
Okay, so Aelon and Zeosug seem to struggle to get a grip on the rope. Sorry. No, Aelon is able to climb deftly up the rope, but Zeosug seems to be having trouble at the bottom of the rope here.
Well, Odd's doing the...
Yeah, Odd is at the back. He is concerned about old ladies. He is doing his community service. Madam, do you need assistance crossing this rope?
And they'll say, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
madam, please give me your hand. We're going to do this together.
All
We
right.
can get through this.
All right, we're going to try again. Here we go.
Sure.
Okay, they're able to get about halfway up. with your help.
He's gonna get behind and he's just pushing. It's good. You're doing great.
A whole nother push. All right, and they're able to kind of, with just like this motivation, like this very smoky motivation from behind him, they are able to get to kind of the top and nestle themselves up in the bushes. So Adora, let us resolve your rounds here.
Yes.
So you will come sort of within 20 or 30 feet of them at one point.
Good. Cool.
And so a couple javelins will fire out at you.
All right. Let's do it.
First one will miss. Second one will hit.
Mm-hmm.
So you will do up. So you'll take 3 damage as this sort of like nicks your shoulder. And they say, Stop! You hear Flarble Garble Nodge. As they're barking this at you.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you? So you just dashing up?
Well, actually, I was thinking I might while I'm going, I might leave a trail of lightning behind me just for fun.
Okay, cool. So that will knock one of them. We'll give them a 1-round disadvantage.
Cool.
Or 1-round penalty there. The other one is still hot on your tails. What would you like to do with the next round?
Yeah, so I mean, unless somebody else comes to help me, I'm just going to be dashing and leaving lightning behind her.
Okay, cool. So you start to dash. You're leaving this lightning behind after having seen his friend kind of get clapped by this. He sort of moves around it, and he loses about 10 or 15 feet on you. So right now you're at about 45 feet of distance from the second one, and about 75 feet of distance from the further one.
So I'm running out of breath a little, but I think I can outrun them. Endurance is something I'm decent at, and I imagine that this sort of game of staying barely ahead of them and trying to distract them with lightning and that sort of thing will continue until I get close enough for people to start I don't know, shooting at them from above or something. Okay,
so you just sort of gunning it. Let me see how many. If you catch them again, if you catch the one who's closer, roll 3d10 for me.
Okay. One, 4, 8.
Okay, so you catch him once with kind of a wall of lightning. You catch him once.
Sick.
So you have about 80 feet behind, and so as you get to the rope ladder, you have 80 feet on the closer one and 110 feet on the further one. And so now you're going to be trying to climb up the rope. So y'all see. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just making noise and pointing at them.
So y'all see a very fatigued Karis honking at the bottom of this rope, just starting to grab on. What would you like to do?
Me?
Have we already made our way up the rope?
Yeah, y'all are at the top. Yeah.
And Karis is at the bottom?
Karis is at the bottom.
Odd's gonna try and jog back down, awkwardly back down to help Karis. Even though it's probably gonna take longer than it's gonna take Karis to get up.
Kendall is gonna pause him before he goes and go, perhaps we can just haul Karis up.
Oh, good idea. Karis, grab on to the rope and we'll pull you up.
Okay, so now we need to make a strength check at advantage.
I think we're working together, right? So
at advantage plus guidance.
Oh, nat 20.
Okay.
Nice.
So it is this kind of wiry blonde haired frame you just sort of see, like, for a moment, the smoke clears. And you hear the song, I can see clearly now. And whoop, kind of like very quickly clears this 60 feet as this rope, as Odd tumbles backwards into the jungle canopy behind him, landing neatly on a leaf. And it seems to support his weight. And you see Karis kind of vault up over the top as this marvelous display of wiry strength comes to. And so Zeosuk will say, we have to make our way to the top of the volcano as soon as possible. They did something. I don't know why Nilimanagi didn't protect us. We got to get up there.
All right,
explain to me real quick, who is Nilimanagi?
That is the matron. That is the dragon. The ancient dragon, yes.
Are we concerned
and she was in the volcano.
So Odd, they're dragon people, yes?
Yeah.
So there's got to be a dragon to make the dragon people.
Mm-hmm.
So they want help from the dragon that made them.
Okay.
What?
That's what I'm getting from this.
What are the
that
gilings
makes sense.
doing? What, like right when I get up there?
So right when you get there, they're sort of like, you can see them like frustrated, and they seem to be like one of them runs towards the tunnel, and the other one is sort of seems to be like trying, like deciding if they want to scramble up the rocks or if they want to run back down.
Okay.
But they're out of javelins. They've thrown their javelins at you.
We're all out of javelins.
Well, you can only throw
I came here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm out of javelins.
Common saying among the giant people.
Elin, would you mind, could you?
And you see Elin, my pleasure, Bubbles. I would love to help you with this one, and you'll see her lean over the edge and just sort of pepper. That's just fanning the hammer down at this Goliath, trying to, and it seems if it gets filled with bolts, as probably a combination of Odd and Elin's crossbow kind of drive this guy into the ground, and one makes his way up the tunnel.
Are there any? That's probably not a good sign. If they're going to be warned in the volcano, is there any other way up there?
And they'll say, we can. There's an entrance around the back, but we have to move. We have to move carefully up the slopes. It is very sharp.
Sharp.
The obsidian is very sharp.
Okay.
I know a good path. We will not be taking it. We will not be just walking up the side of the mountain, but it is still not my favorite.
All right.
Lead the way.
Their voice is changing so much.
You know what?
Fine.
So is mine. That's just what
Fair
life
enough.
is like.
That's a D&D dead play. That's the kind of quality content we offer here on the Transverse. Rapidly modulating voices.
Figure it out, folks.
If I can
That's
get one
for
thing on
you.
this show, that's what it is.
Who's talking? No one knows. All right. Guess at home. Every time you forget you can't figure out what character's talking, take a sip of your favorite tea beverage.
Hey, you can't be promoting drugs.
Stay hydrated, folks. Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated. Drink water. As you start to make your way up, Zeosug and this other dragonkin will start to lead you up. Will lead you up a path through this kind of hell field of obsidian spires that makes up the side of this volcano, and they will probably after about 15 or 20 minutes of climbing up this hill, the heat starts to get very hot. And so for y'all it's massive. It's massive.
Mm-hmm.
So
we're feeling hot.
The heat is hot.
The heat is so hot.
It's slaying.
So hot. It's giving. It's giving.
Oh.
It's really serving magma.
It is. It's serving magma. It is. So the heat, the temperature starts to feel like very oppressive, and so as you're pushing up the hill, like the you can tell the longer that you spend at this altitude with this amount of heat, the harder it's going to be. So if you spend too much time up here, you know that it'll start to take points of exhaustion. But after about a half an hour, you will get to the top of the volcano, and you'll enter through this through a back area of
going in through the back door.
Going in the back door, and you will come into a. I wrote box text for this.
You want me to go back to the map?
I don't think I've put you on there.
No, but you mentioned the box text, so if you want that to exist, I have to do something about it.
Switch back to the map. That sounds great. Right. Thank you.
All right, we're in. Hacker voice. We're in.
So, you see as you enter through this back entrance, you see Zeosug push open this heavy obsidian plate, and it swings open, and inside of this,
you're so strong.
This is after 1,000 years serving Nilamananji. Gosh, I would hope I would be. And so they so what you will see, beautiful. So mounds of rubble of this beautifully carved stonework, not stonework. Though I am up for some snacks after this.
Some beautifully carved stonework.
Stonework, just like wonderful sconces. Beautifully carved stonework is scattered across the sides.
Scones to some dwarf out there, I'm sure.
Yeah. Who doesn't like a
snack? A little crunch.
Just a little crunch. So, you take stock of the room, and you see this large collapsed pillar across the middle of the room. Suspended above it, you see suspended vertically, you see the shape of a large emerald dragon. So some of its scales and its wings seem to be suspended, whereas like maybe with a traditional dragon it's all flesh, but it seems to have, similarly to the horns of the dragonkin below, the wings shatter and are kind of broken out and seem to be suspended in place with magic. You see 3 large bands burning around this dragon, holding it in place. And as you look at it, you don't see or hear any movement. The place is completely silent, and the dragon's eye seems to just be fixed and frozen.
Is it are they so are they does she
take a breath.
I'm speaking to Zeosug.
I do not know what magic this is. Let me see if I can start the ritual. Accompany me, Sagma. And he calls over this, and they call over this other dragonkin, and they start to lay out like different items for a ritual cast that you're unfamiliar with, to try to break whatever is binding this dragon still. And while this happens, the first thing that happens is the fog that is typically around Odd will start to spread out and envelop the party. And it will.
That's not a good sign.
It will take a shift, and it will kind of turn to an acrid green and yellow. And so as you come out of place, you see you're kind of, it seems like you're on wings over the great city, a great city of the Ethereal Isles. Athiari is the main city that many of you would be from, the capital, and you see some of the first stones being brought down by the first elves to build the temples around which things are centered. And at the same time, you see a younger Zeosug and a younger Emerald Dragon much further to the south, building a ward of invisibility. And you will all hear the word protection. And you'll see the island that you are all on disappear. The second thing that you will see is the nope, because that's happening. The second thing you'll see is the great cities of the world. So you're thinking of Athiari, Admurs, and some of the other ones that you've been to throughout your lifetime seem to be drained of magic, and the temples seem to fall empty. And you see Kendrick's wheel grinds to a halt, and the black sand stands still. As this starts to happen, you see in the streets of these cities disembodied orange-yellow eyes. And you hear in your head, together. So it's a deep, resonant voice that I cannot do anymore. You see, together, we prevent this despair. And you will feel a kind of, again, this ripple in the weave. And as these waves, this wave that you feel in the present moment is the same wave that you see echoing throughout these twisted visions of the future, of these future cities. But it seems to be ever pulsing in these cities. And as the vision ends, one catches you in real life and disrupts, and you see the eye that seems to be frozen just opens a little bit wider, and you feel like a little bit of pain as you watch the bands around it contract and vibrate, shaking the body of this Emerald Dragon. And you see Zeosug kind of shake and be taken aback.
She's in pain. We have to help her.
It's a lot worse than that, actually.
So the island, it didn't move here. It was always here, just invisible. Of course.
That's one mystery solved, certainly.
So there's a lot more mysteries that have opened up, to be honest. I don't even know where to start.
So you have been, you have Zeosug is attempting to set up a ritual to free the dragon here, and as this happens, as this vision occurs, you feel a weight in your pocket. So as this vision breaks. You feel as the ritual starts to press on, you have some time in the cave. They seem they're balancing up on this pillar, setting out runes and getting things together. As you look around the rest of the area, you see collapsed, like Grecian, super great English today. Really going well. 15 minutes left in recording. I'm Englishing so well. These
it's all good. Just keep going.
These Grecian style pillars that seem to span all around, and you see sort of an area where treasure might have been held at one point, and you see these big ruddy tracks coming down and out the main entrance. That sort of is on the far side of the room where the pillar that has collapsed across. And you see an area with like what would you call it? Like it's not a hay, but it's like jungle plants that seem to be matted into sort of a makeshift nest in another corner. What would you like to do?
Kendall, could you cool my clothes down for me? It's bad in here.
I mean, Kendall will put a hand near her and cool her shirt down with prestidigitation. And he'll do the same for himself and for Odd, and then he'll look around and he'll go, so just to get the lay of the land and make sure I have this, the Dragonborn are currently trying to put a ritual together.
Yes.
The dragon is in some kind of state of pause, like they're not
stasis.
Like stasis. Yep. Yeah, they're in like some kind of stasis.
That's the one.
And the and then there's somewhere nearby there is a nest made of jungle bits.
Yeah, so you see that there's like an area where like clearly the dragon's hoard was, and then there's an area that looks maybe like it looks like it might be a nest.
Okay.
What are we talking like an elf-sized nest or a dragon-sized nest?
Dragon-sized nest.
Okay.
So, Odd, go check out that nest. I'm going to go see if I can help these people. And he's going to go over to the Dragonborn, and he's going to see what he can do. He's going to pray over them, give them some guidance in their ritual. And he's going to see if there's anything he can do to aid them in making their ritual successful, because together we have to avert this tragedy, whatever it's going to be.
Okay. Otto's pretty distraught. He will follow directions, I think, just because he doesn't know what to do, and that's his default in a stressful situation. But as soon as he feels that weight in his pocket, he is instinctively going to reach into his pocket and see what's in there.
So you remove you have an emerald within your pocket, and so you feel like a strong magical presence coming from it, and it seems to have been gifted to you from the dragon, from whoever provided this vision to you.
Okay.
But with the age of everything and what was shown to you, it seems like that would be the only thing that makes sense.
Okay. He's going to take like an internal moment and sort of like brace himself and be like, yeah, with the power of this emerald, we can do this! And he's going to put it in his pocket, and he's going to go check out the nest and see if there's anything he can find that's helpful.
So you will you make your way over, and you see evidence of three dragon eggs that had been there, and then one that is broken open. But you see like kind of clearly the indents of 3 that were taken.
Okay. So I'm gonna make sure just there's nothing I can do to salvage the broken one. Is it cracked, or it's like there's yolks?
It's busted open. There's whatever the emerald yolk.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'll take a moment and mourn the fallen baby dragon. And then I'll head back over and I'll make sure everyone like, you guys, 3 dragon eggs have been stolen.
Oh no, that's very bad.
That's bad, right?
Zeosug looks up.
Loaded onto the boat with the giants.
Those are children, then.
Unborn children, but yes.
Yeah, we shouldn't get into that, maybe.
I more meant that as far as this dragon is concerned, that's their progeny, you know?
Dragon babies are an endangered species.
All
Yeah.
right. So as this is happening, Karis, what are you doing in this situation?
Vibing.
Just vibing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
things will happen. I'll rest. I'm tired and I got hit by a javelin.
Kind of patching up your wound, taking your time. Aelin will sort of like we'll take a step up towards this bigger front entrance, and we'll kind of keep an eye looking down the mountain to see what might be coming up the main entryway, where you saw the cart tracks coming down. And after about 5 or 10 minutes, as you're finishing kind of mourning the baby dragon, you'll hear her signal and say that they're coming up the hill. They're coming. Is the ritual almost done? And Zeosug will say, "No, I can't really get this to move." And so there's sort of you see.
What are they trying to get to move?
They're trying to. So there's these 3 sort of pulsing bands of energy around the dragon that seem to be are suspending it vertically in the volcano.
Is that like something that you can reach out and touch, or is that like out of reach?
So like for y'all, it would be out of reach because they're suspended. Like it's a huge creature, right? But their head is suspended about 40-60 feet up in the air, and looking at it, you can tell it's not physical in nature. It's not like chained to anything. It seems to be some sort of magic holding it in place.
I mean, as he's trying to help them, Kendall would start praying to Kendrit about those bonds. And he would, be asking, how can I help release these bonds? What can I do? Seeking guidance in like the more traditional sense and less in the spell sense.
So you'll be given an image of the wheel turning, and you sort of see the sand falling into the wheel that turns it, kind of like a water wheel. And you'll see some of the kernels of sand being plucked before they hit the kind of paddle of the water wheel, and like being like a kind of this twisted orange and yellow hand will reach in and grab a handful of sand and throws the handful of sand, and you see this ring being made around the dragon. And so where you would understand this is like lives have been taken from the wheel and have been used to create these binds.
Interesting.
Oh no. Okay. Do I get the impression that those lives have to do with the ones in the village, or they're more, shall we say, local?
They, you sort of, you put together that you saw footprints leading out into the woods. The giant tracks went 2 ways. The dragon tracks went 1 way.
I'm going to go to the person who I see who is trying to make this ritual work. I think this was done with magic using the lives of your countrymen. That kind of power is difficult to undo.
And you see this sort of dismay fall across Zeosug's face, and he'll turn to y'all, and will say, and Aelin will say, they're coming. They're very close. Scottish now.
It's close.
Yeah, so we'll get there. So they're coming out. They're very close, and she'll run over to the pillar bridging this magma gap.
When
And
when we get the warning, is it just Odyssey who hears it, or is it everybody?
this will be Aelin kind of like shouting it out to the whole room.
So this is the first warning that we're getting, because you mentioned one earlier, but this was from her.
Yep. So the first warning was like they're coming, like they're within eye shot, and now you have like a minute.
No, I wanted to do stuff after they said that they're an eye shot. I was just waiting.
So that they're an eye shot. Go ahead.
I don't have anything specific, but I do want to go like, be like, hey, can someone lay traps? Like I'm not good at that stuff, but like at that point I'm like, okay, very obviously we should go and like, hide and get ready to harry them. Yeah. Anyone good at harrying? Any harriers?
Odd is just distraught. He's like, we can't leave her.
No, that's not. No, we gotta. Okay, Elin, can you set traps of some kind?
Bubbles. I wish that I could. I don't have anything. Yeah, if I were back in the Ethereal Isles, yes, but I don't have anything.
What about those lightning things that you did when we were with some mergoblins?
They don't last very long.
Well, that's, I think, the best we have.
Well,
So-
are there any like loose rocks we can destabilize? Maybe we should just roll boulders down. Do you see any good ones?
Zeosug will call you over and will say, I can collapse this chamber down around us,
Ooh.
but I have to be here when it happens. You all need to leave. Like I can prevent them from doing any more damage to her, but it will also cost me.
Oh, you mean collapse it completely, not the entrances? So you don't think there's anything you can do then?
That this is my best shot. This is I know I can protect Nilmananji, and y'all will have to figure out a way to free her on your own.
Yes, dog. You will be remembered.
Is this what you want?
I would die for my matron. Sooner die than see what horrible plans the giants have for me.
So the ritual is not gonna help.
The ritual cannot help because they cannot undo the binds that were made using the lives of their countrymen.
That's not great.
How many of them are there?
So coming up the hill, you see 3 or 4 of the full-fledged storm giants, and then about 20 of the smaller runtlings that you've been dealing with.
We can't fight them.
It's not.
We have to go.
It's not. Kendall, back me up, okay? It's not the best. If you collapse the chamber with the giants inside, that would probably kill them, right? And that wouldn't be, they'd be dead. But at least, that's okay as well, because they're out to kill us, right? So.
Do we know for sure that would kill them? I know that giants are very hardy.
Well, it is magma. And I mean, look up.
So we think we can bring the magma down on them. I was thinking it was just falling rocks.
I think it was a lot of falling rocks, and then the only way down is the magma.
I don't think it's a bad idea. I'm going to turn to.
Hold on. There's more.
Oh,
so
okay.
the problem with the bands was the lives of their countrymen we used. So can we use the lives of these giants to undo it if we collapse the chamber on them?
I don't know how it was done. Do you know any rituals or anything that could use these lives in this way?
That's dark magic.
Yes, so that's why I asked Kendall.
My magic isn't dark. It's just deathly. It's different.
And what makes this sacrifice magic dark and not just deathly? Huh?
It is
I don't know, it
against.
makes sense to me.
It is against survey of Seville.
Dying
There
anyway,
were
right?
yes, there were lives taken off of Seville.
Oh.
It was a good thought, Karis, but it doesn't quite work that way.
They were taken off of Seville. They aren't in the cycle anymore. They've been used for that, whatever that is.
So they just live there now.
If live is the way you want to talk about it,
Well,
but
don't
they're
you
not.
think that? Oh yeah.
They're not who they were. They don't have form, and I don't know if they have consciousness. I just know that they were used. They were taken out of the cycle and used for that.
But don't you think that they'd be returned to the cycle if you undid it? Because they're stuck in the.
I don't know how.
Okay.
I don't know how.
All right.
I
Okay.
don't know how this was done.
We're getting heated. Look, we don't have to be raising our voices.
Volcano joke.
Hey.
I'm not.
We can be.
I'm not
gentle.
raising my voice. I'm just.
And so Zeosug will say, "Listen, they are getting closer. You must go. If you do not run from this place, I will have to take you away from. I will have to teleport you away from here. You must go.
Teleport us away? That sounds really useful too. Where can you send us?
I can get you out of this chamber.
Okay, all right. We can walk out. So, thanks for your help. I guess.
Is there anything you wish to relay to your followers, the ones that are still locked away?
He will turn to you and say, so he will say that the dragons or the giants have broken the sapphire dragons.
Okay.
The ruby dragons are deeply imperiled. And Nilamananji will continue on.
Okay.
And so would you want to scoot out on your own, or would you want to take advantage of the teleport?
If you can send us close to the town, I mean, I'm really exhausted, so I hate to say it, but if we're going to be able to help the rest of the people down there, now's the time while everyone's up here, so...
You start to feel the cavern rumbling as these massive giants start coming in through the front door.
Yeah. If we don't get teleported, then I'm definitely leaving.
So, you will, she will, or they will gather you together and will cast, you'll see a concentration on this teleportation magic, and behind them you see this kind of frame of sunlight as these giants get closer and closer and closer, and the last thing you see before this teleportation magic is a giant entering into the room and stepping onto the pillar. And in this fleeting moment, as you're sort of being pulled between places, you hear the rocks tumble to the ground, and you are whisked out. And that's where we will pick up next session.